Hello, church. It's Pastor Steve here with our Monday Minute for February 21st of 2022. We want to wish everyone a happy President's Day out there. Hopefully you've had an opportunity, whether it was a long weekend, if you're off work today, to enjoy this time. And if you are working today, well, hopefully it's a productive day for you, and you can still take advantage of all those good sales that are happening during this time of year as well. On a serious note, we do have some things that we want to let you know. First of all, if you did not pick up your pre-order of our Lenten devotional book, A Way Other Than Our Own by Walter Brueggemann, you can still do so at the church office, or you can pick them up next Sunday as well. If you did not pre-order but would still like a devotional book, we have several extra copies that are available at the Welcome Center or at the church office, and we hope that you will pick that up as we prepare in just a couple of weeks to take that 40-day journey into Lent. We also are going to be having a lot of activities that are happening during the season of Lent, starting on Ash Wednesday with our service at 7 p.m. We'll be having our Labyrinth that is available for a devotional time every Wednesday during the season of Lent. Every Tuesday, I will be leading a discussion, both in person and online, a hybrid discussion regarding our devotional book too, as well as our sermon series that will center around that as well. So please do look for that and other activities that are happening here in the life of our church at our webpage, newburghumc.org, and you can find specific details by typing in /events. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, today is President's Day, and while we joke about having a day off or not having a day off or all of those sales that are there, it is important to remember why we celebrate this day. President's Day, in case you don't know, is a combination of the days that were always observed previously of the birthday of George Washington, our first president. But also born in February was Abraham Lincoln, and after the Civil War, both of those presidents were honored having their birthdays in the same month. But in recent years, a couple of decades ago, it was decided that we would take one day and honor all of our presidents, and not just those two key figures, although those are two very important ones here as well. Now, also with it being President's Day and also being Black History Month, it's important for us to acknowledge our first African-American president, Barack Obama, who left office, as you can believe, just not that too long ago, 5 years ago, going on 6 years ago now. We also have our first African-American vice president in Kamala Harris. And it's important to see the strides that we have taken, but also to see the work that we still have yet to do for equality in this country. But all of them should be honored on this day and for what it is that we are called to do as not only people, responsible citizens in this country, but also peoples of faith. But when we look at these folks who were elected, we also know that we've had some good ones and we've had some, not so good ones along the way. Well, history can judge who they think are the good ones over time. And in modern times, for those that we remember, we can judge for ourselves who we think is good and is not good. I think one thing is clear, is that almost every president, not all of them, but almost every president saw themselves as an inheritor of that legacy that was started with Washington, but they also see a responsibility to pass that legacy on intact to whoever the next one might be. Now, I bring this up because I think we can take a lesson for that for us in the church. It's important for us, I think, to reorient ourselves in our thinking around what it means to belong to a church and what belonging to the faith means in general. When we study our African heritage in Black History Month, or as we should do in all months, but especially now in this month, that's one way where we can see how what it means to belong has changed over the years and how we need to strive for more inclusivity, while also to look at our pioneering African American members who have built this legacy that we have now. But many people feel in the church that they're inheritors of a legacy, yet when it comes to passing on that legacy, I think we tend to fall a little short. Many churches try to hold on to everything that they have, but oftentimes we do that at the expense of passing on the faith to a new generation. Now, that does not mean that we don't have a say in the ministries that we engage in now, but it does mean that when we engage in ministry, we should always have an eye focused towards the future, not just the past and the present. As we conclude our sermon series this coming Sunday on Getting Real, one of the real aspects that we're trying to address is what are the core principles of our faith? What do we truly believe? And what is at the center of our beliefs? Once we shed all of these things that we have built up as religion, we can get to the core of who Jesus is and why we follow him, but also what we are called to do as followers in passing on that legacy and that inheritance of faith. Jesus' ministry itself was based upon preparing others for that journey of faith that lied ahead for them. He knew that he wouldn't be with his disciples in physical presence always, but that he would train them to pass on what it is that they had learned and what they had gained from following Jesus, but also to share in how they, like we, can receive the Holy Spirit and be guided by that advocate that Jesus gives us for the future, not just today, but for the future of the church. He would charge them when Jesus ascended to make disciples of all nations. And that is the focus of our church and the United Methodist Church as well, to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. That is what we are to focus on, into passing on what it is that we have received, and so that others will continue to receive that as well, but to continue to grow in the faith and to expand our horizons. So today, as we observe this President's Day here in the United States, we would also be mindful as followers of Jesus to observe the calling that he has both on our own lives and on what we are called to do to pass that on and affect the lives of others. How others can be an inheritor of our faith, but also how we can be someone who will pass on our faith so that all will know the love of Jesus. That is our goal, and that is our legacy that we can seek to receive, to share, but also that others can receive along the way. Hopefully, we can all do so through the leading of the Spirit. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe out there. If you've not been vaccinated and boosted, please do so. Even as cases are coming down, we want to make sure that everyone is safe and is healthy as we move into a new future together. And we'll look forward to seeing you back here next week for another edition of the Monday Minute.